Finally back with another run rant. I had eye surgery about 2.5 weeks ago, and this is my first run. It feels good. It's interesting though, like, because I have an endurance background, you notice things. You notice things like, okay, since the run, my vision is still healing, it's still acclimating to what's it like running. I did a bike a couple of days ago, but running up and down, I noticed the vision is still a little, we're not at 100%, but we're pretty close. What else? Conditioning, right? So obviously, tourist, yo. So conditioning is always an interesting thing because when you take 2.5 weeks off, your heart is not at the same level of conditioning and your lungs aren't either. So those are two dynamics. And then, your feet are just not accustomed to hitting the ground that much. And the other thing was equilibrium. At first week after surgery, my equilibrium was really suspect. I was like, yo, I feel uncomfortable. And so you start to realize some of the things that maybe I took for granted or just was comfortable with. Now I'm like, it's a little shaky. All right, I'm on a little island right now. Give you a little visual. So I share all that because I think when we think about organizations, it's the same dynamic. Like after some kind of a huge trauma you have elements of vision that are problematic where people can't see quite the same way. Things don't look the same way. And when it comes to conditioning, our organizational body is not accustomed to moving the same way. The vibe is different. The culture feels a little funky. The environment feels a little iffy. And then for equilibrium, like how you make sense of what's going on is also different. And sometimes we don't take that into consideration for some of the organizations that are dealing with pandemic trauma. Like what happens when people are no longer in the office? How do I make sense of what's going on with the people that I'm leading? I'm trying to look at them at a screen and I can't pick up the same vibes that I would pick up if I were in person. It's a different vibe. So those are just some of the things that I was thinking about now that I'm back running. And that's my run rant. That was it.